This paper presents a novel approach based on the volumetric rendering formulation for 3D wireframe parsing. In this video, we will introduce the key idea and some quantitative comparison results of our proposed method. Our study was inspired by the pioneering representation of 2D primal sketches proposed in Mars vision theory. Taking a simple object from the ABC dataset as an example, suppose we have 2D images and 2D primal sketch of wireframes as well as the camera poses. We would like to take a further step by computing 3D primal sketch of wireframes. This problem was previously studied as the 3D line reconstruction problem. In 2017, Hofer et al. Proposed an approach, Line 3D++, in which they achieve the goal of accurate 3D line reconstruction based on the correspondences of line segments across different views. However, due to the inherent difficulties of line segment matching, Line 3D++ requires handling the view-dependent occlusion of line segments in a heuristic way. Accordingly, in our study, we are going to get rid of the inherent difficulties of line segment matching to compute 3D wireframes from 2D images. Most recently, we have witnessed great success in neural implicit rendering for multi-view 3D reconstruction. Motivated by the exciting fact that the scene geometry can be optimized well via coordinate MLPs without entailing explicit cross-view correspondences, we present a novel approach, NEAT for 3D wireframe reconstruction. In our method, we first propose a neural attraction fields that parameterizes the 3D line segments with coordinate multi-layer perceptrons, enabling us to learn the 3D line segments from 2D observation without incurring any explicit feature correspondences across views. By querying all possible rays over the multi-view images, our method renders the 3D line segments from the coordinate MLPs. However, it should be noted, because we did not match line segments, there will be a noisy, redundant but meaningful 3D line cloud as shown in the right figure. To handle the optimized 3D line segments for the goal of parsimonious 3D wireframe reconstruction, we then present a novel global junction perceiving module to perceive meaningful 3D junctions from the neat fields of 3D line segments by optimizing a randomly initialized high-dimensional latent array and a lightweight decoding MLP together with the learning of coordinate MLPs. The right figure shows the learning process of the global junction perceiving module for the simple object. As is shown, by setting 64 latent codes and junctions, their states are converged to stable. For the converged 64 junctions, there will be some outliers, as the predefined number is larger than the true junctions. By checking the distance between the global junctions and noisy 3D line segments, we can easily filter out the outliers. Here is an example of the filtered 3D junctions and the noisy 3D line segment reconstruction queried from neat fields. Because we learn 3D junctions from a global perspective, it establishes a basis to compute the expected wireframe by connecting 3D junctions according to the noisy 3D observation of line segments. Similar to the 2D wireframe parsing, we leverage an attracting scheme to remove the duplicated 3D line segments, which enforces that the two endpoints of every 3D line segment are in the set of 3D global junctions. Then we check the visibility of the 3D line segments according to the 2D observation to remove potential outliers like this to yield a final 3D wireframe model. Here is a more complicated example from the DTU dataset. On the left, we show the noisy 3D line segment reconstruction by querying the optimized coordinate MLPs. On the right, the optimization process of the 3D global junctions is illustrated. Finally, we obtain a parsimonious 3D wireframe representation of the scene in the middle figure. Thanks to the global junction perceiving module, the outliers can be easily cleaned out to get a clean final 3D wireframe model. In experiments, we comprehensively evaluate our proposed method on two datasets, the DTU and blended MVS. For the DTU dataset, we use 12 scenes for the evaluation. Here are the exemplar inputs of those scenes from the DTU dataset. We use the self-supervised model, HAWPV3 trained on a subset of the ImageNet data for the detection of 2D wireframes. We qualitatively compare our proposed method with the Line 3D++ for the different line segment detectors, LSD, and HOP. Compared to Line 3D++ at HOP, which depends on the 2D line segment correspondences, our NEAT approach obtains more complete reconstruction results. When compared to the vanilla Line 3D++ that detects 2D line segments by traditional LSD on high-resolution images, because LSD will yield a large number of small-length line segments, it produces a more complete 3D model but lacks the structural regularities other than our NEAT. Besides, the difficulties of line segment matching will result in some notable flying line segments for the vanilla Line 3D++. Here is another set of comparisons, which shows that our proposed neat approach can consistently obtain better 3D wireframe models for the straight-line dominant scenes. For more challenging scenes that consist of curves in the scene, our proposed method obtains significantly better results with the best accuracy and compactness, as well as structural regularities. In these scenes, the vanilla line 3D++ will produce many small length line segments from the texture regions instead of the object boundaries. For the middle scene of the skull, because the 2D detection results by hop are very incomplete, both our method and line 3D++ at hop obtained incomplete results. But compared to line 3D++ at hop, our result is still better than the matching-based pipelines. Then, we evaluate our proposed method on the blended MVS dataset. 5 complicated scenes are used in our experiments. Here is a data overview for the input images and the detected 2D wireframes by HAWPV3. As illustrated, our proposed neat handles the complicated structures to achieve better reconstruction results in a matching-free way. By contrast, the reconstruction results by line 3D++ at hop are either incomplete or inaccurate. Many flying line segments can be observed. Here is another visualization for our results in the view of wireframes and line segments. Lastly, we show the reconstruction results by Rs in the line segment view and junction view. Because our method is able to learn 3D junctions from a global perspective without human annotated labels, it opens a door to characterize the scene geometry from 2D supervision in structured point-level 3D representation. Thank you for watching our video on neat, a novel approach for 3D wireframe reconstruction. We hope that our proposed method will inspire new approaches to the computation of parsimonious 3D reconstruction and contribute to the development of the field. For more technical details and quantitative evaluations, please check out our paper and supplementary document.